how do you lift up other people and how it comes back at you. And this is evidence of that. And so we have a surprise this morning for Peter, which is very hard to do. And I'd like to introduce now the person who will introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Peter Larson. I'd like to bring up to the microphone Mr. Adam Larson. Round of applause, please.
Surprise! All right, so I've had the privilege of knowing today's speaker for many years, so I will go through this introduction and indulge him. Peter has been a business networking professional for over 7 years in the networking world. He has a passion for business networking that just won't quit. Quickly, about 7 years ago, he got up to speed in the networking world, and then he increased that speed even more, and he currently navigates in hyperspeed everywhere he goes. Before that time, Peter, who has been in professional sales for over 20 years, was cold calling prospects and using dated marketing ideas. Then he discovered how to optimize his networking experiences and use LinkedIn to take his skills to the next level. Peter's a graduate of James Madison University with a business degree in management information systems. Peter's been in the document management industry for 20 years, starting with Xerox Corporation in Richmond in the mid-90s. Peter joined Cobb Technologies in 2008 and has never looked back. It was only in joining the Cobb family that Peter ramped up his networking efforts. In the nearly 8 years he's been at Cobb, Peter has won the President's Club Sales Award every year for the last 6 years. Peter is active and influential in the following organizations: Enrico Business Leaders, West Richmond Businessmen's Association, Retail Merchants Association, Enrico County Business First Committee, and South University Program Advisory Committee. That's a lot of committees. Peter enjoys being a guest speaker at Virginia State University and ECU, teaching students how to use networking and LinkedIn to get a job. Peter even has a part-time job as a charity benefit auctioneer assistant, Ernie Rogers, thank you, where he wears a tuxedo and networks with top-level people at charity benefit auctions. Peter and his wife of 32 years, Cindy, aka Wonder Wife,
yes, she is.
My mother, live in the Short Pump area and love the Innsbrook business community. The best father and grandfather a guy could ever ask for, Peter Larson.
Thank you. All right, and we have the clicker right over here. Where is the clicker? Oh, is it right there? Okay, we're going to talk about Cobb Technologies first, and since we are sponsoring, David DiGiacomo, the Director of Sales for Cobb Technologies, is in the back. Dave, would you raise your hand so everybody can see? There he is, right there. Top guy, my boss. So, hello, that's my boss in the room. Anyway, I want to talk about Cobb Technologies. It's true, I never look back. Love Cobb Technologies. Just a little bit about us, in case you didn't know, we are 25 years old. We are a family-owned, Richmond-based, independent company. We have offices from Virginia Beach to Virginia Tech, and about 115 employees. You know our products. That's just to give you an idea. People know from the radio ads. Who's heard Freddie Cobb on the radio? Put a hand up. Yeah. Well, you've heard him over the years. He talks about the copiers and printers and scanners, which is fabulous. We've got the best manufacturers. But there's more than that. There's large format. We also offer large format, the Yosei product. And you'll hear Freddie talk a lot more about Cobb IT services. We are an IT company, full on, through and through, just as much as anybody else is. But we have a lot of other solutions in the area of document management. So if all your copier needs are met, but your document management needs are not met, and you're overrun with documents, you can't find anything, and we can help. And then the last slide. This is a brief summary of the company. Just everything from this one right here. Unparalleled, right there, 30 technicians. Most of our competitors have just a handful. We've got a lot of service technicians, parts and supplies locally. Most people have to call out to Northern Virginia, Virginia Beach, or New York to get supplies. We warehouse them locally, have an IT help desk, 24/7 access for everything, and electronic billing to save money. All right, so that's Cobb. Put your hands together for Cobb Technologies. And we're going to transition right into today's presentation, which is about how to turn contacts into partnerships through networking and LinkedIn. And so, here's some fun pictures. That's we've got some people in the crowd who are in these pictures, right in the crowd today. See if you recognize yourself. Some of you are here. This is what it's all about in Richmond. If you want to be connected, if you want to prosper in Richmond, you've got to network in the right way, and you've got to use LinkedIn in the right way. And today, I'll be sharing a right way. There are many. First, a little bit about me. LinkedIn is something that I'm just passionate about. I have over 1,300 connections. It doesn't matter how many connections you have. What matters is if I go through your connections, or you go through mine, and I cannot tell you something significant about 95% of them on the spot, then they aren't really a connection, are they? So go through your connections, make sure that you can do that. LinkedIn tracks you by page views. This is important. This is, are people looking at your profile? Are you being noticed, which is part of networking? I am. And then at Cobb Technologies, out of the 93 people who I work with, my manager in the back, by the way, #1 in the company. Isn't that right, boss?
Yes, it is.
There it is. And then it's a busy life. If you want to have the kind of success that we're going to talk about today, many people in the room do, it's going to take networking. And I average 3 to 6 events a week and still sleep 8 hours at night and enjoy weekends, and I rest and I take little naps and things like that. Life doesn't have to be stressful with that schedule. I'll teach you how. And then things have been fantastic at Cobb, and I use LinkedIn every day more than once. All right, so moving right along. Why is Richmond such a great place to network? Well, it is. I'll give you some data, because there are some super smart math people in the room, like Ron Johnson right over there, my energy coach. Got to point him out, because without Ron and his input, my energy level would just not be quite the way it is now today. So thank you, Ron. But Forbes says Richmond's a great place for business. Those in the back, it says Forbes 2014 ranked Richmond as number 51 as the best place for business and careers. It's recent data, and I know those in the back can't see all this. There are nearly 1.3 million people in Richmond, and our unemployment rate is very low. You are in the right city to network. Nearly $74 billion in our local economy. This is a good economy. In our key industries, law. Who's in law? Anybody involved in law in the group? Yes, I see that. Finance. Who's involved in finance? Put a hand up if you're part of finance. Okay, good. Government. Anybody in government in the room? Okay, I see a few hands. And banking. Any banking? Excellent. Those are the top 4 industries based on data for Richmond. And then Huffington, which you all know, Huffington is a great source for data, ranked Richmond 2nd of America's top 5 cities to keep on the radar. And that is good news about Richmond. Now, today I'm going to talk about the difference between one thing, what is a contact, and what is a partnership. There's a difference. So I did a lot of research, and I found some pretty neat things. See if you agree. Well, those in the back, I know it's a little bit small. Contact relationships are clouded. Partnerships are clear-cut. Just think about your own life. What do clouds do? Now today we don't have any clouds, but tomorrow we're going to have some clouds. They obstruct vision, don't they, Doug Wall? They obstruct vision. A cloud obstructs a vision. Just somebody who's a contact just kind of obstructs what you're really trying to do, which is build partnerships. Partnerships are clear. You're clear, and the other person is clear. I think that's powerful. So that's one difference. Contact relationships are volatile. Partnerships are stable. So have you ever had a person who you see at an event, and then you see them a couple of times, but then you don't see them for 6 months or a year? You don't see an update on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the social, they just disappear. Well, sometimes that's just a contact. They're not really looking for partnerships. They were just in there to get a little flash in the pan, but not to build a partnership. Consistently show up. That is something important. Consistently return emails and voicemails. This is a challenge for everybody in the room, including me, responding to people quickly and then consistently post on LinkedIn. Now, you see that asterisk? Well, just as my good friend Ernie Rogers, who's right there, says this is an audience participation event. Isn't that right, Ernie? It's an audience participation, so I'm not just going to do all the talking. You are going to do some talking too, because, well, I need some help. As you see, there are some Peter Larson secrets that I'm going to share with you. And there are some things that I'm going to ask the audience for help. But that one is a secret. So here's one of the secrets. Post on LinkedIn consistently. I would not post once a year or once every 6 months because people are just not going to view your page, and your social standing and your business standing is not going to increase by posting just every 6 months or so. Consistently post. Now, you don't have to post every day. Some people do. I do, because I'm either sharing something somebody else posts, or I think of some original content that makes sense. But post consistently, and that is a secret that has helped me a lot in this city. Contact relationships are about emotion. Partnerships are about emotional integrity. So what do I mean? In emotion, it's usually fear that you'll see, and you feel it sometimes when someone has to sell, and they're